What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the Pull Focus Podcast. My name is Quentin, and today's guest is an amazing photographer that mainly shoots senior portraits, and he's from Webster County, West Virginia. So without further ado is my good friend Darin Taylor. How are you today?
I'm good. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Yeah, so Darin, you and I, we actually we go back probably I think like 2018, 2019. It was somewhere along those lines we met up and we shot together. You actually have a lot of friends that I've shot, Sierra and Carrie, and
Yes.
both was honestly a really good moment in my photography career because it was like I didn't know how to edit, I didn't know how to do a lot of stuff, but like having people that was like kind of understood the whole mindset, that was really cool to get. But we haven't done anything since then, I don't think, have we?
No, Carrie was the last time I saw you,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
so it's been a while. We need to do something for sure.
Yeah.
But your style has, dude, it has grown so much. I have seen you when you kind of like first started, and now like you've posted a couple portraits in the last like couple months. I'm just like, the dude is getting it. It's awesome and stuff.
Thank you.
Just talk about a little bit about your history to the viewers, let them get to know you and what inspires you, and go from there.
Okay, so I basically got started in photography because of my yearbook class.
Okay.
I don't know how like all schools do it, but at Webster, when I went anyways, I graduated in 2017. Basically, we all had to learn how to use the cameras, and we were like shooting at the sports events, assemblies, things like that.
Right.
And so I was almost at every football game, so I basically just did a bunch of that, and I was like, wow, this is fun. And then as the year progressed, I was like, I want to take pictures of people.
Yeah.
And I had this friend, Sarah, and she was into pageants, and she just trusted me and let me take her photos.
Yeah.
And from there, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Right. And yeah, I think it's, you just said something there too. I think it's kind of important is that when you have somebody that just kind of like trusts you to do like, to take that type of leap into an artistic expression, because you've done some really, the way I kind of describe it is like there's portraits and then there's like the way that you do your portraits they're not over the top, but they're still very different than you see. Like when somebody posts yours, I know exactly it's like a Darin Taylor original. Like I know exactly it is. And I think it's the way that you just kind of like position. There's a certain like element within it. You've shot in the morning, which is like something that I think is everyone's obsessed with golden hour. Like I'm obsessed with golden hour. But you did a couple sessions at Summersville Lake, and you was like, I was like, what time is it? Like, is that like evening? And you was like, no, that's like super early in the morning. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I do love golden hour. I do, just like everybody else. But there's just something so magical about sunrise.
Yeah.
My friends aren't the biggest fans about it until like they see the shots, and then they're like, okay, I get it. And then I feel like you have so much more to do in the day when you're like shooting earlier.
Yeah.
And it's almost softer.
Yeah.
And shooting at the lake is just my favorite thing to do, especially in the summer. And the first time I did it, I was super nervous, and the outcome was just really good.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to keep doing this.
Yeah, you actually inspired me to do a shot a few years ago, and I think I actually texted you, and I was like, yo, I'm shooting in the morning and stuff. He was like, oh, I can't wait to see him and stuff. And some of them, it was interesting because like you have to think opposite. Like in golden hour, you're getting less light, so you're trying to like bring light in. Well, in the morning, you're getting more light, so you kind of have to like think about it in reverse and stuff. And it was a really neat perspective. I've only done it twice actually since then, but both sessions has been very well done. But I don't like getting up early. I think that's the biggest mindset. I just gotta get over it. I also don't want to, if I'm doing just like a styled shoot, I don't want my models to kind of feel like, because then they might have to get up a lot earlier for like hair and makeup and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I don't want to be that person and then end up not knowing what I'm doing, and then it's a waste of time and stuff. But the two models that I shot, it was so cool because we got there around 7 o'clock, and around 8:30 is when the sun was like hitting through the trees and giving this like really cool like early morning fog and stuff. And I was like, what in the world and stuff. So that was really cool. And then I used the reflector
Yeah.
as well. I used it on like the gold side to warm it up, and it was just really. I remember literally driving back home, and I was like, dude, Darren's gonna be so proud of me and stuff, because like it was almost exactly the type of style and everything. And um, I've shot, like I just mentioned the reflector, but like you use it on every single shoot pretty much,
Yeah.
right? Why do you feel like that is like a go-to like tool that you need?
Mainly because I'm the type of person who will shoot like any time of day if I have to. Like I will work with people's schedules,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a reflector kind of elevates that, especially like middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Shadows, you can use it to get rid of shadows. You can use it for shadows.
Yeah.
And then obviously if it's too bright, I have like a 3-in-1 reflector so I can diffuse light.
Yeah.
But I feel like it adds something more to the photo. It makes your model stand out a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
And I think it brings out details like in the highlights.
I 100% agree on the detail aspect of it. I think it's when you don't notice it maybe when you're shooting, but when you go back and like post editing, like you're like, oh, this doesn't need it very much at all. Like the everything that is like highlighted and where it needs to be is like there, and especially like I've done it where I think I probably use the gold side more, because I have one that's gold. It's the 3-in-1 too. I think it's gold, silver, and then it diffuses as well. And I think the silver, it makes it like almost like too blindy in a way. Like, but gold is like, I don't know. It's got that really cool like, I don't know, like Harry Styles that's
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of
I see what you're
vibe,
saying.
to it. So I'm just like, you could be wearing almost anything, but with that little gold, you're just like, it just puts it. But silver, I don't know, it's not as noticeable, and that just might be me and how I shoot with it and stuff too. But yeah, it's I'm trying to think of other examples that I've used it with. I haven't used it in a while though, so that might be something that, and I wonder what the difference would be like if you would use it in video, if it would be very noticeable in that. I mean, a lot of people use it for like in interviewings, and they'll do like B-roll shots of, like if interviews outside, they'll diffuse a lot. But no, I think out of everybody, I'm sure there's other photographers in the state that uses them, but like I feel like you use it in a certain way that is exactly like your style. Like even the reflector is your style. It's a piece of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's always with me. I
yeah,
don't. It could be raining and I'm gonna have my
yeah,
reflector.
yeah, yeah.
I do actually use more of the silver than the gold though, and I don't really know why. I feel like the gold doesn't just vibe with me,
Right.
and like the colors I like to go
Yeah.
for. I have used the gold. I think it helps in golden hour a lot,
Yeah.
but it's just always on me.
Right.
It's in the car right now.
Yeah, I got you. I so you shoot on a Canon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you always shot with the same one, or have you done like a different?
I started on a Canon Rebel T6, I think.
Okay.
And then when I upgraded, it was just like to the T8i. And then now I shoot on a Canon 6D Mark II.
Yeah.
And my backup body is the exact same. It's a Canon 6D Mark II.
Yeah. Those is amazing cameras too. They're so. I think the last three guests we've had on this podcast, that's exactly what they shoot too, and it's amazing because it's so versatile. Like, doesn't matter if you're doing just portraits, families, weddings, or anything like that. Like, you're gonna get a really good shot out of it and stuff. And Canon's so rich in color. I shoot with Sony's, but I mean, they all have their pros and cons to everything. So, I think with what you do with portraits, and especially like reflecting that light and stuff, like if you try to do that with a Nikon or even a Sony, I don't think you could do it. I don't think it could capture the amount of like color that you need to like
Yeah,
keep the image vibrant, you know?
I do think Canon is like a little brighter when it comes to the color aspect of things.
Yeah. So, what type of what would you say is like some of your big like inspirations for like photography? Like, is there?
Well, we all know that I'm gonna say Kelsey Maggart.
Yes. Yeah.
She's just like the goat.
Yeah.
You know Drew Photo on Twitter.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. You're throwing out big hitters too. Like that's the
yeah,
crazy
like,
part about it. Like those guys, those two within themselves. I mean, oh my gosh, I feel like during COVID they carried the pandemic of
oh, for
photography.
sure.
Like it's insane. And then like Kelsey, like her Twitter account got like hacked or something, so she had to like restart
Yeah.
and stuff. I was so bummed about
I
that.
do think
and
that she
stuff.
got her account back though.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's a huge plus. Both of those, I mean, they always create their images. Like you feel like you could like you're not only looking at it, but like you could like other senses combined.
Yeah.
They're so sharp and stuff.
I think with Kelsey, she kind of like pushed me to like go a little further with my seniors and just, I don't know, like open me creatively. And I know like without her influence, I would not be as
Right.
far as I am. And like, same with you, just like being able to talk to you and
Yeah.
us like tossing around ideas, things like that, especially like, I feel like in the area that I am, because like my style is a little different.
Yeah.
So I just like try to have fun and be creative with my
Yeah.
seniors and
Yeah.
things like that.
Well, I feel like everybody that shot with you too, they once they understand, like they're just like, I know, like they're always hyping you up on social media afterwards and stuff too. So they're just like, this is exactly what we want, you know. Like it's kind of like you go for like people find photographers for a certain reason, and it's like if they book you, I know that I want to get like a certain photo in your style, you know. Like it shouldn't be like a surprise at that time, you know. And but you be real like, I mean, some clients it's just a surprise, just to kind of like you think that they did their due diligence stuff, like kind of their own research on it, and they didn't and stuff.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Kelsey and Drew definitely, they're both amazing photographers. Is there anybody in the local area that you're just like gravitate towards as well? I feel like you would really like Ethan Witt, his
I don't know if I
photography.
know him.
He's out of Huntington. He does a really cool, moody, like golden type of style. Dakota Burns. Do you follow
Oh,
him?
I do know. I do follow
Yeah.
Dakota Burns.
Dakota has a really good style too that I think you would.
His couples
gravitate.
are like next level.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to think of who else.
There are a few like locals also, like Madison Bradford. You probably like do not know who that is, but
Yeah.
she is really into like families and weddings. And then Caitlin with the camera, but she's like Caitlin Motherhood Photography now. She is like from my area, but like
Yeah.
moved to South Carolina, I think. But she's like back and forth. Like she's still here a
Right.
lot, and she's really good. And then I know you know Miranda Piat Photography.
Yeah, yeah.
She literally
So-
like lives right down the road from
Okay.
me.
All right. So talk to me about her, because I know her and I don't know her at the same time.
Okay, so I think she found you through Autumn because she like
Okay.
follows Autumn's stuff.
Okay.
And I had
Well, did she go to Glenville? Or did she
no,
go to
she just
Glenville?
like she went to Richwood High School.
Okay.
And then I think some of her like college courses are like through New River or something.
Okay, I got you. I think she was wearing like Glenville's t-shirt on one time, and I was like, "Who is?" And usually, if there's like something like that, I'm like always follow people back because I'm like, "Oh, that might be like young alumni or something like that." But then I was like, then she keeps on like she's commented 2 or 3 times on my stuff recently, and I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like, "What's up?" You know, and I was like,
Yeah,
but it's like it's cool though. So there's like a connection, but that makes probably sense now because she probably sees you commenting or and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And
okay.
I know that she had like followed Autumn because like Autumn Stranger Sessions.
yeah.
And then obviously I talk about you a lot.
Yeah.
And you had did your session with Autumn.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Is this your friend Q?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that's Quentin."
Yeah.
And I think she followed you like right
Okay,
after that.
Yeah. No, her stuff is great too. I feel like in the last couple of months, she's kind of like improved a
Yeah,
lot too.
she's like she shoots everything, which I think is like super hard. Not for me, like
Yeah,
not for
yeah,
me at all. Like
yeah.
I'm like I know what I'm good at. Let me let me stick to it. But I think that she has like a really good like grasp on like versatility and like just
and she's new into the scene too. So like, I've talked in some previous episodes of like just figuring out like niching down and stuff, and I think when you start out, it's a really good thing. But like once you find out what your strengths are, like really go for those and stuff. And that's like it's interesting that you say because like I know like your strengths with senior portraits and things like that. I don't know how you would do a wedding in a sense. You know what I mean? Like in your
neither do
style.
I.
You know what I mean? So
Neither do
yeah.
I.
So it would be like a really interesting concept and stuff. So like that's I don't know. It's just like you're putting these categories and stuff as well. But something that you definitely want to see. But at the same time, you're like if it doesn't work out.
Well, I have some good news for you. You will be seeing that.
Okay, there you go.
You will
Awesome.
be seeing that.
Good. I think it's at least one of those things you try at least once. Like, and that's with my photography. I've done that in a sense. I've done pretty much everything, but at least once. And I just know there's some stuff that I just don't want to ever do again. I just don't.
That's fair. Well,
Yeah.
I'm like not the biggest into like families.
Yeah.
I'll like if it's my friend, I'll do it.
Same.
I know you, I know your
Same.
kid. It's fine. But just like
If they're a stranger, I don't
want to
deal
do
with
it.
them. I really don't. But the only ones that are posting on my page is people that I know personally, and I just if it's a stranger and then I have to deal with everyone. I picked up a session a year ago, and it was by accident, and it was they had family from New Jersey, Cleveland, and Florida, and they all came together in one spot. And I shot, I think, about 250 images for them, and they wanted every single one of them like heavily edited. It got to a point where I did a small session, turned out to be like, a 2 or 3 day job and stuff, and I'm just like, it shouldn't be like that, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, and it was an accident of how it booked. The person that booked me didn't know that I wasn't taken, but kind of like Valen told me that I was doing it, and I was like, I don't know, it was just a thing, but I was just like, that was the most. I sent that gallery, and they didn't say they didn't say thank you. They didn't do anything.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I'm just like, well, I hope I never see you guys again either. And
That's
stuff
valid,
like that,
and that's valid. Like, I mean, we already get anxiety like when we're sending out a gallery.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like shaking. I'm like, please like this. Please say something.
Right.
And like 9 times out of 10, it's usually like good feedback, but like it's still like
You never
nerve-wracking.
know. Yeah. I just talked a little bit about that in the past episode. Is the fact that we send these galleries out, and you never know like whether or not like people like you think that they saw the sneaks or they saw something and they'd be like, okay, this is how it is, but like you'd be so surprised that some of them they just don't take consideration of there's other things, other galleries, other clients that you have, other things. And now I'm full time, so that I'm seeing it into a different perspective now. It's like, okay, if I'm not shooting, I'm editing, I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So now my turnaround is going to be a lot quicker. Like yesterday, I did a senior session in Calhoun, and it's because I knew this kid since he was like 3, and the mom was like asking me, "Do you know when it was?" And I was like, "I know graduation's coming up soon and stuff too," but I was like, "No, I'm gonna probably have them to you by Wednesday actually." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's like massively quick." And to me, I feel like that's too late now and stuff, because I'm working through these, and I'm just like, if I have a day off, like I should be getting it to them and stuff. So I'm trying to like get better in that mindset of it. Yeah, it's been cranking out some really cool stuff. I've been shooting a lot of Marshall college grads recently. I just booked one up at Fairmont, so I'm gonna go up to Fairmont and shoot, and this is going to be an awesome one. The girl is a beautiful girl, and she wants to do a video / photo, so we're going to be doing pretty much like a TikTok for her. So that's going to be like a cool vibe, and that's something I would love to offer too for like in my senior packages, because of just the way TikTok and like reels and things
reels are taking over.
Yeah. So like, why would you include like in your package like a 30-second like video or something like that? You know, and most of you can do it right then and there, but you don't have to do like a 4-minute documentary or
it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Yeah. But so yeah, you that that's some pretty big heavy hitters for influencers. You're also a big Taylor Swift fan.
Love Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So, do you feel like her music and like her style also influences the way you shoot as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music plays a big role in my theme shoots that I do. I have to bring that back to Kelsey too. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't even do theme shoots if it wasn't for her. So, like, thanks, Kelsey. Um, and then I shoot with my friends a lot. Like, I feel like that's a good balance for me with, like, outside of seniors.
Mm-hmm.
My friends like Chance, Liz, Amaya, Sydney, Josie.
Yeah.
You know all these
Yeah.
names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like constantly like putting them in shoots and them just like trusting me and like tossing out an idea
Yeah.
and them just like running with it and just having
Yeah.
fun. And I feel like that's a good balance for me and my creativity.
Yeah, I want to shoot Josie. We've even talked about it and stuff. And then there's like two or three other girls that we talked about that we was like, you've even told me like, no, she needs to shoot with you because
Yeah, I
you
think that
know.
to this day that you should shoot my friend Jordan.
I think yeah. We tried last year.
Yeah.
That's definitely something we need to do this year.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, she'd be really fun. I 100% agree with you too.
And I think you should shoot Chance. Chance is literally the only reason I can shoot boys. Like I will say that. And then it's shooting with Chance has kind of like made me more confident in boy work with seniors.
Yeah.
Cause like this year I have a senior and his name is Chase. And I've had so much fun shooting him.
Yeah, it's interesting though too because one photographer I had on here, his name's Colt. He likes to shoot seniors as well, and he was making a good point about like the guys are a lot different than the girls when you're doing it and stuff. And for me, it's definitely much harder because guys they don't like typically they don't have like long hair, they don't have accessories, they don't have movement. They got like a pair of pants and a shirt most of the time. But for girls, like I love movement, so like hands in the hair, like if they have a dress, like we're showing all that at the same time. It kind of like gives a different aspect. But yeah, guys are, I don't even know like poses like that to get them into because I also don't want to do like a cheesy element of like
Yeah.
of it and just like I feel like you see a lot of that and it was big in the 2000s in photography of like I don't know the guys of like they'll be on the ground and like an arm up or something like that. Like a very cheesy, but like you can still position it like to make it look a little bit more. I don't want to say spicier, but like intriguing, I guess would be a better word for it. Yeah. So is those the only two that you shoot?
I've also shot with my friend Caleb in the past and he does really well. I'm trying to think of other guys.
Yeah.
Cause I mainly do shoot girls.
Guys flake on me, to be honest. Like
I
I'll
feel
reach
like,
out to them.
well, I just feel like they don't have fun with it.
Yeah.
And like I really, really, really like lucked out with Chance. Like he was just interested from the start and then like going into his senior year, I'd already shot him so many times.
Yeah.
And he kind of like knew what to do. So anytime I am shooting a boy now, I'm just like, okay, I'll just go to my go-to poses with Chance. And I've also like been leaning into couples photography more, and that's made me a little more comfortable with shooting guys.
Yeah, I've noticed that and stuff as well. I mean, I feel like all those, like, I don't see the guys being, because I definitely agree on that. Like, the girl will be, like, really into it and the guy not. But I've also had some guys really into it and the girl not. So, like, it's very hit and miss on it. But your style meshes well with that, I think. So that's, like, I don't know. It's just, like, it's interesting to see where you are today because, like, 5 years from now, like, it's going to be, like,
Well, thank you.
dude, you're gonna hit it, like, because like I said, I've watched you in such a I feel like when did you say you started? You started in
I started taking pictures in like the end of 2017.
yeah, so like pretty much I think we met up in 2018. So like you was really young into it and stuff, and it's like I mean you're putting stuff out now. You did this one portrait. I gotta find it here because I forget what the girl is, but I saw it and I was just like, it was almost like a big shock because you're just like, heck yeah. Like I was just like, yes, like he's doing it and stuff. But I think it was with Jordan actually, Jordan Harper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was with her for sure.
I feel like it's gonna be the white dress photo.
I have to find it. When did you shoot that one?
Um, I want to say that was either like
Oh yeah, yeah. Is it
May.
this one?
That's one of them.
Okay,
That's one of them.
dude. Yeah. So this one definitely, you had like this little like I was like, dude, what's going on? What is going on and stuff. And it like I saw like this really cool like evolution of it and stuff. And this one,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah. That's a vibe, man. A vibe. Because you did these two, all of them. I was just like,
Yeah. I'm really thankful for Jordan. She kind of like got me back in my groove last year.
yeah.
Um,
I could feel that just by looking at things like that.
yeah.
You'll get somebody too. I know, like for me, like I'll get a model that just kind of like knows how to position, how it does, and gives you that nice, perfect like confidence that you might just need and stuff. I have a couple models that are like my go-tos that would actually be awesome for you to shoot and stuff. But um, yeah, when you get somebody that's like knows how to position and takes all that stress away, and then if they're beautiful within and themselves and stuff, great lighting, and then all it comes together, and you shoot it, you're just like, yes, like I've done the hard part. Now let's go to editing, kind of like see that, and then it just like, but next time you're just like, yep, this is what I know I can do. I just need to like put the pieces together and stuff.
Yeah.
And one cloudy day can like ruin your whole vibe. At least
Yeah.
for me, as natural light, you know. So
Yeah. I'm like super, super weird about lighting. And really like about my seniors too. Like I have two seniors this year that have like senior girls who have also like knocked it out of the park. Bailey Jarrett isn't even like one of my seniors, but she's just like stunning, and like if I have an idea, she's always up for it and she
right.
kills it. And then the other would be Lakin. Um, she's so good. Lakin is so good. Like I don't think I've taken one bad photo of her.
Right.
And then, but like what you said about cloudiness, it's funny because my last shoot with Chance, it's like on my feed right now. It's like, I don't even know when I shot it,
Yeah.
last week sometime. It was supposed to be cloudy and I was like, no, I want the sun. I need the sun out bad.
Yeah.
And the sun finally like came out, but like where I was shooting, I was like, I need it to be down a little bit because I was like making them super hazy and I wanted like this nostalgic feeling about them. So we literally waited out for 3 hours. And I was like, I have the best friends in the world. Like
Yeah.
anybody else would have been like, no, I'm going home.
So with your locations and everything, like I feel like you mainly shoot. I feel like you shoot at Summersville Lake a lot. What's does that like limit you sometimes with like location, or do you feel like you can shoot just about anywhere in the state, or what do you like gravitate like towards?
I would say I could like shoot anywhere really. I like love water and I love nature, and um even winter, like I know a
Yeah.
lot of photographers like hate it, but like if I can shoot in the snow, I want to shoot in the snow.
Right.
And I do think like with me shooting primarily in Summersville, it is kind of good because you know you've shot downtown in Summersville, and then like there's just like nice little nooks and
Right.
places.
Yeah.
And then you're surrounded by nature also. You also
Yeah.
like went to Carnifex Ferry this past winter, and like that's one of my favorite places to shoot.
Yeah, I didn't even know. And I think you commented or you texted me, and you was like, "That's literally like I go there all the time." And I was like, they actually suggested that I did a maternity shoot there, and it was like in the snow, and yeah, there's just it's amazing. I think when you look at some photographers, and then they can make a whole area look like a whole different scene, and then you don't even realize that that's what it is, and then you go shoot there, and and then they. Because that's happened to me like a lot, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I've shot there before," and I was like, "I didn't even notice that, before." And so, and I think that's what we're kind of like lucky with West Virginia though. Is like we have a lot of those state parks. We have like I've shot at the New River Gorge a lot. I've done a lot of sessions down there, but there's a lot to the state that I just haven't even touched and stuff. I want to do more stuff at Summersville. I want to do more water shoots down there. Um, I don't know enough about the lake. I don't think like I wanted like a really good place that's like sort of private because like I feel because you shoot like on the docks a lot.
Yeah, I shoot
Yeah.
at the marina and I shoot at the beach area a lot.
Yeah. Does it seem like the beach area? I feel like it's always packed of people.
Um,
Maybe that's because
it's never packed when I go, but I go at sunrise.
yeah, that's what I was
So,
gonna say. Yeah.
but like I do that on purpose just because I know as soon as it's warm, people are gonna swarm in
Right.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I want to do like water shoots and I want to do like just some cool creative things in there, but I also don't want like people just be gawking, and just like
Bro.
and just because we know people don't mind their business, whether it's like photography or just in general, they don't mind their business. So it's just like
Yeah.
I don't want to ever put a model in a situation that they don't feel comfortable, and then you don't get the shots, and then it's a waste of time and all that stuff. So
I kind of relate, but I like also don't. I laid chance in like someone's yard
yeah,
last
yeah.
week.
It's just I love that. So, but is there any place that you would there's like a bucket list place that you want to shoot at?
Um, I really, really, really want to shoot in Texas.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Same. I want to go to like Arizona, Texas, Joshua Tree. I want to shoot there. I'm in this big kick of like country Nashville type of theme that which is very hard to shoot here because everything's either green or it is gray brown. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
but I want that like Auburn whiskey.
Yeah, it almost
brown
like
and
it
stuff.
goes back to like Kelsey, and you'll like see some of her
Yeah,
Nashville
yeah.
locations, and you're like,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. There's a like I just posted on I'm doing a giveaway of like I'm gonna do like a cowgirl themed one and stuff, but I want people to know like it's gonna be very similar to that style, and that's how I want to shoot it. I think a lot of people just like they'll get a cowboy hat and be like, okay, I'm ready, but it's like nah, like we're gonna do the full
Yeah.
boots, we're gonna do like a whole theme,
Yeah.
and I want to do that like very dusty and dirty and stuff. Now there is there's a couple like horse not stables but like maybe tracks or I don't know that I did a wedding for a girl and she said that she barrel races and everything, and she said that she knows people that could like give us that like if we need something like that. So I really haven't like reached out to her and like kind of like set that up, but like that's in like back of my mind. It's like I need people first before I like
Yeah.
set it up, and then I'm like, okay, if we got enough people that's interested in it, I would love to do like a styled shoot that's just like not so much just like that Western theme.
Yeah.
Like if we get a good golden hour, like a real good one with that dust kicking
That'd be
up, oh my
gorgeous.
gosh, like we could so much options and stuff for us to do, and I've been like it's been stuck in my head doing some really cool like slow mo video work with that, and just look really good. So yeah, there's that, and then so you said Texas, but Texas also like it has a lot of options for like city stuff
yeah,
too.
I feel like you can do downtown, like really,
Yeah.
really like detailed city stuff, and then just like fields of flowers, and it's
It
just
has a lot to.
it's just a dream.
Yeah, it has a lot to offer, to be honest. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere like I really just want to do Western stuff. I also want to shoot like I like Northwest and just like seeing like Oregon and like these like rich greens and stuff. Like I feel like you would have
I'm
absolute
like I
heyday
do
in
think
that.
Oregon is very pretty. Like
Yeah.
again, bringing it back to Kelsey, her model Haley, she like
Oh.
she's always like posting. in
Haley
Oregon.
is. She shoots Haley so well. Like
Shout out Haley.
yeah, Haley, you could. I don't understand. Like it is just any situation, any scenario, they work so hand in hand so well together. She's like on my mood board for like half of the like ideas is literally Haley and stuff on it. So she's like, I think I even tagged her earlier this year. I tagged like 5 or 6 like models that I follow that one of them actually, just only one of them replied back to me, but we're actually going to set, she's from Pittsburgh, and she replied, she's like, I actually love your work. I really like want to do it, but if we do, we got to set it up because I'm in Pittsburgh and it's going to be like a tough
Yeah.
trip. And I was like, I got you and stuff. And now this is before she knew I was going full time. So now I'm like, yeah, July, me and you, we're going to do some crazy stuff. So like, but yeah, I just did that, just kind of like reaching out to people, and I was surprised I was able to get somebody to like reply back, because I reach out to a lot of people, like a lot. It's
Me too.
amazing how many people post, and they would be fit amazing in some of our like shoots, but they just don't reply, or they ghost on us a lot and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I think it's also gotten a little bit better too in the last couple of years of now, like it's just more like you start shooting with more people start to relate to it, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like this person isn't just shooting one person and
Yeah.
stuff, they're shooting everybody and stuff. And I think that's helped me when I first got down here in Charleston. It was tough because that's when I shot Carrie down here, and which honestly, dude, that shoot was like, we got so many.
I love this photo still today.
Yeah, she's still on like my header for all my social promos and stuff. We had a perfect day of like light, like, and I don't even know if it was. I don't know if it was summer or what. Like, I really can't remember if it. I thought it was like maybe in May, like
I think it was-
springish, but
It may have been like maybe early June. I don't remember either.
yeah, I don't think it was hot though, because I feel like there's no way we would have been out
No,
there.
because we started around like 5:30,
Yeah,
and we were like out there until the sun was gone.
yeah, and we did a lot of outfits. That was such a cool vibe. It was so much fun, and she was. I don't shoot very many redheads either, and she's like one
My
that.
favorite redhead. My favorite redhead.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot.
So sorry.
No, it's not good. No, but she does it. You didn't have to like give her like a lot of
No, she will pose herself.
Yeah, she
like
poses
she's
herself.
really good with direction.
so good. And I was excited because for me it put a redhead on my page, and I was like, it's given diversity and stuff, and I was like, it just gives me something different. And because there for a while I was only shooting like blondes for some reason, like that's all I had, and I was like, well, that's the only people that will
Yeah.
answer or something like that. And now when I see people and they're like a different style or something like that, I'm just like, yes, I'm more excited that they're different than anything, because it's like I wanted that challenge and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We talked about it in the episode before, but how do you kind of adjust that posing and stuff with like different body types and like different styles and everything like that? Do you have like go-to poses, or is there like something that you just want to always capture?
I actually keep like galleries on my phone of like different poses for like what I'm going for. Like I have an album that's like girl downtown poses, girl
Right.
field poses, just like things like that. And for the most part, I kind of like stick to the same stuff when it comes to my posing. Some people do it better than others.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you've shot with me before and you're like shooting with me again, you're gonna nail it. Like
Right.
I never have to worry about Chance. I never have to worry about Liz. Like they
Yeah.
get out there and they know what they're doing. Even at this point, Chase is like a senior. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
And it's crazy because he'll be like, I look at my first shoot with you all the time, and it's not, they're not even bad photos, but like I'm so much better at posing now.
No, I understand that completely. I shot, her name's Deidre. I shot her through a span. One of them you still say is like one of your favorite ones. She had like a white jacket on. She was in like this hazy field stuff. And that's the first time I shot her. And then I just recently shot her back in like September again. And within the first 10 minutes, I was like, you've changed a lot, like, because she's shot with other people and stuff now, and she's like she knows what she needs to do. And she's like, yeah, I'm trying to get a lot better at that. And I was like, today's gonna be good. And then that's when we shot in the morning of that was like 9 o'clock to like 11 o'clock, and we was there till we shot the full day, to be honest. It was we shot like a lot of different like high noon type stuff that I've never done before, but it was also a kind of it was a cooler day, and we was wanting to do some water stuff, and all the creeks were dry. It was weird. water. I don't know, but I had to go all the way up to Ohio for that one and stuff. But she'd be a really good one that if you shot like, because she's tall.
Oh, I love a tall model.
Yeah, she's tall. She played basketball at Fairmont, and she is. That's why I like shooting her, because she gives me like a different aspect of like when I look at it, like I need to like step way back compared to somebody that's shorter and stuff like that. Her, and then I shoot Marley Ross a lot. She's tall as well. They're probably the two tallest models that I shoot, and I love it because like it's a huge challenge that you see and stuff. But like shorter people, they're just as much challenge because you want to put them in a pose that makes them look taller or something like that.
Well, for me, because I'm so tall, because I'm giant. um, when I'm shooting shorter people, it's so much easier for me.
Yeah,
it's so much easier for me. Carrie comes to mind, and the senior I shoot, Presley, she does great too, and they're just like so tiny, and I'm like, this is the life. I don't have to like go back that far. I can just and it works so much better for me. And then back to posing, like, well, you know this because you shot with her too. Sierra Wine is like one of the best. Like like if you're shooting with Sierra, it's gonna turn out. It doesn't matter what you're shooting.
I loved it. You guys did a 4th of July shoot that I think about all the time and stuff. Like that red, white, and blue is just like, it's awesome. She also has really good style. So like she always had like a really good like outfits.
Yeah, you do not have to worry about an outfit, makeup, hair. Yeah. Like she will come prepared.
She also, when we did that shoot with her, we probably did 3 shots for sure that's like in my all-time favorite like portfolio. We did the stuff that was in front of the bus that was completely different. That was like in her backyard.
Yeah.
We did this really cool shot in front of like we made it look like sheets being hung, but it was actually just these plastic tablecloths from Dollar Zone that we got, and
I was back there shaking.
You was back there shaking it, make it look like it was wind. It was so cool. But I love telling people about that because people was like, "Oh, I never would have thought." I was like, that's the process part that's just amazing. And we did another one. We did like a water shoot with her with smoke bombs and stuff. And and that water was cold.
It was cold that day.
And that was a summer day too. It was cold there, but when we got into the bus, it was like 120
it was so
degrees
hot in
in
that
that.
bus. I will never
like
forget
we
that
went
bus.
through so many emotions of like temperature. It was insane. But that was like a really cool. I loved that, and that was when we first met. I don't even know how we got. I don't know if I was meeting up with Sierra and you just came.
Yeah, Sierra had like messaged me and she was like, "You follow each other."
Yeah.
And I don't know him. Like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care
Yeah,
to come and help."
yeah. And then I think I was excited when I saw you too, because I was like, yeah, like you'll get this in the sense like and stuff too, because like that's another thing. It's just like, you know, the stuff that like I shoot and stuff. Like I always want to make it feel comfortable for everybody. I don't want to put anybody in a certain situation. I want it to them because I want the more comfortable, more genuine they are, the better the shot and stuff. I don't want to like waste people's time and stuff. But no, I was super, super excited. I was like so ready to go home and edit those because like we did stuff downtown. We did stuff at the lake. We did stuff at our house. Like it was so cool. Like I met her mom too. Like we went in there.
Christy.
She was like, "Oh, you guys want to take pictures?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, you know, so I was out of my element, but you just went in there and did it and stuff. But it was so cool because I think when she saw those and stuff, she liked my page and stuff as well. And it was just neat to know that we created some really cool cool images.
I think
and stuff.
that's like also like a big part of my growth. Like just the friends that I have and like getting to create with them, and like some of them are like moms now, like Liz's mom,
Right.
And she's like, "I don't care, you're shooting this."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So like I owe a lot of my growth to them as well, because I'm like, oh, like, and there's like this quote, and it's like, "I'll never change, but I'll never stay the same." And like I feel like that's kind of me, because like you can still see like aspects of my old work into my new work, and like I don't know, I just always want like that feel of it. Yeah. So very thankful for my friends.
Yeah. It's amazing that you say that, because one of the biggest quotes that I kept on hearing that made me go full time was nothing changes if nothing
Oh, I
changes.
love saying that. I say that all the time.
And this lately has been the most truest form, and I'm just like, listen, I want to, surround myself by like same like-minded creatives that just want to like challenge themselves and wants to like get better, and then like game respects game type deal. And it's just like, I don't know. I've never looked at you as like, oh yeah, you're competition. I'm like, no,
No.
like you're creating, like you're a different portrait photographer that needs to be like on a platform and stuff. And
Thank you.
but that's just, there's a lot of that, and that's the way I'm hoping with this podcast, it kind of like evolves into a conversation of like other photographers, and people see it and they recognize that, hey, like it doesn't have to be this way. Like we can meet up. Like you met with another photographer right before this, Caitlin Christian, that was on the episode right before this, and you guys seem like you probably would never have met
Yeah.
if it wasn't for something like this. And I'm just like, and I told her, I was like, no, he's going to be coming a little bit later. I'll make sure you stick around regardless and stuff, because I want you guys to meet and stuff, because it's like, you just never know, you know what I mean? And but she was an absolute blast. Like she talked a lot.
Yeah, she was super nice.
We probably could have talked another like 2 hours and stuff here. But so yeah, for like Webster County and stuff as well. What do you think is like some of the biggest hurdles as a photographer just trying to in that area?
Just like, I don't know. I feel like there's this like stigma that you have to be like consistent, or like, I don't know, people are like waiting for you to slip up. But like for me, I feel like mistakes mean that you're making progress. Like, and it's not all gonna come at once. Like it really is in the beginning, like people taking a leap of faith in you, and then you start to like believe in yourself as well. And then also it's kind of like cool being in a small town. Like most people would not agree with that at all, but like just like word of mouth, and you do see a lot of people like supporting you, and like that's cool, because you're like, oh, this is my dream, like thank you for believing in that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's a yeah there's a lot of people that I shot too that early in my career, and then they see my work now, and they're just like one guy. So I did his first wedding, and then I did his second wedding, and he was like, his second one, he was just like, I think his wedding was one of the first ones I ever did too, and I only charged him like $200. And I said, things have changed a little bit now. My price is a little bit different. But he's like, no, he said, you've gotten a lot better and stuff. And he's like, I'm excited for these. And when he got their gallery back, he was just like amazed by them and stuff. And I was like, yeah, first and second one, third one's going to be on me. And he was like, hopefully I don't have to get there and stuff. And we was joking about it. But he's seen me in a whole different, progression. And he'll send me a message every now and then and be like, dude, you're killing it. Just a reminder, and we don't get too like in depth with it, but it's nice to know that there's a lot more people than I think people realize watches you, and other photographers, they talk, and they talk whether or not that they know that they're holding a conversation, if you know what I mean. Like it's just it can, like one comment can go a long ways and stuff for like validation, or just just to see whether or not you're in the same lane as people.
I know exactly what you mean. I was doing prom photos this past Saturday, and I don't really shoot that kind of stuff. So I had messaged Liza Whitmore. She's like in Charleston. I don't know if you know her, but like
it sounds familiar.
She does a lot of like newborn, like she's really, really good at couples, and she's just the best. And I knew that she had shot proms in the past, so I was like, hey, do you have any like go-to poses, like tips? And she was like, she sent me some stuff, and she was like, these are my go-tos. I'm going to add you to this group. You can like look through that. You can search up prom in there. And then she was like, P.S. raise your prices. You were too good to be like making what you were making. And she does not know like how much like that meant to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you for that.
Yeah, you need to raise them. Like you really do. And it's crazy, like I'm saying that, and then I've had people literally say that to me, and I'm just like, I've raised them. What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
and stuff. So, like, there's a certain type of client, though. But I don't know. I think a lot of people, too, is just, like, figuring out, like, we talked about is, like, the strengths and stuff. But if you raise your prices, people are like, oh, what else do you do?
Yeah.
You know, and then that kind of, like, could open up a floodgate of, like, well, I don't do all weddings, you know, or I don't do this, and be like, and then, like, well, maybe we'll think of someone else, but they're not going to tell you, well, your price is too high
Yeah.
just for this, you know. But I think if you're in that's the thing. Like if you was in a bigger area, like Texas or like even Chicago or anywhere like that, like I feel like that's the thing too. Like I feel like you could like kill it in Chicago with your urban stuff for some reason. Like especially like downtown, like
I've been loving downtown recently.
yeah, I know a couple of photographers that lives there. And do you ever watch a Jayhawk?
I haven't. I don't think so.
I retweet a lot of his stuff a lot, and he's been like I've been watching a lot of his YouTube videos because I've been getting this last vlog I did was like I was really inspired by like his vlog style, so I took bits and pieces from it, and he's kind of like he works for Ghost Energy, but like he does a lot of different lifestyle and the way he shoots, and he shoots on Sony, so like I can kind of relate on the gear that he shoots on, but his style is just like so edgy and like I don't know, it's just so good. But like if you put him in a different city, I don't know if it would work. You know,
Yeah,
like I
that
don't
makes
see him
sense.
in like a Miami or something like that, or he could probably do good in like New York or Seattle. Like the way he edits is like this like sort of darker blues and darker tones and stuff like that, you know, so like everybody kind of gravitates towards a certain, you know, tone as well. And it's like for me, I've been obsessed with like a whiskey Auburn type of edit this last year and stuff, and I'm trying to like break myself out of that. I'm trying to like use that only for golden hour, not for everything, because I use that for like a midday shot and it looks terrible, you know, because it doesn't have that light coming through.
Yeah, I'm like really just like into like my style anyways. I feel like it's just very natural. I think it just like works for me, especially since I just like shoot whatever time of day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this as natural as possible. And I've like tried changing my style a bit, and it just doesn't feel like me, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep doing my thing.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think you're really onto something. Like honestly, like that's the thing. Like I can't wait to see you in the future because it's like I have seen your growth. Like it's just like there was like a year there too. Like you just like kind of really flipped. I even texted you about it. I was like,
Yeah, I
dude, what are you
remember.
even doing? Like you're doing it. Like keep it up and stuff. And but no, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see that. And you don't want to dabble into like video or anything like that. You just
I I've like thought about video before, and I just like don't know that I would be good at it, which is like weird because I am like heavily influenced by music.
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking, I'm like, oh, that would be
Yeah.
so cool for like a shoot.
Yeah. I could see you do like a lot of like cinematography behind of it, but like not the actual like shooting
Yeah.
of it. Like I could see you be like directing like a styled video shoot or something
Yeah,
like that for sure.
because like when it comes to like my theme shoots and stuff, like I normally am, and I'm like picking out the outfits. I'm like, this is the makeup I want. Like
Yeah.
this is the look
Yeah.
I'm going for. Like, and I like even with boy shoots, I know
Yeah.
Chance is like sick of me because I'm like,
Yeah.
we're going shopping, we're finding a new outfit.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the location we're using. This is the exact time we're shooting.
I love that. No, well, I'm gonna have an opportunity this summer. I'm gonna be shooting my first music video with a guy that I'm not gonna say too much on here, but I'll tell you kind of like a little bit off the podcast. But that might be something that I might like bring you on if you're interested
Ooh,
in,
that sounds
because
exciting.
I'm definitely gonna. It just can't be me, you know. Like I have a bigger vision for it, and he's never had a music video, but he has been on platforms. He's auditioned for American Idol and stuff,
That's
and
so cool.
I think him and I could work really well together. And he has the face. Like the thing is, like if you get him with a good like photography and media, like he could be the next Zach Bryan for sure.
Oh, I love
You
that for
know?
him.
Yeah.
Love that for him.
Yeah. So like, but him and I's been really like vocal. He's known me for years too, so he's already know who I am. We've actually already met in person 2 or 3 times.
Oh,
So
this is
like,
gonna be so good.
yeah. So, but I before I just didn't have time for it, but now full time. I told him I was like, yeah, we're definitely doing something this summer. Like we're doing something. And I was like, do you know which song you want? And he was like, "Ugh, I have like 40 songs that hasn't even been like hit out, like recorded yet. And I was like, you pick like 10 and we'll kind of like narrow it down to a theme and we'll go from there. And that could be like your first like big one. So like we're going to do some really cool stuff, um, but yeah, that's something I could definitely see you being part of because the direction, the style is there. You just have to get the subjects
Yeah.
and stuff. But well, what else is there? What else is going on? What else have you been up to?
I've just been dabbling with couples. I'm planning some creative stuff, which is like exciting. It's finally like it's looking like spring back home, so I'm like, let me take advantage of that. Do I have anything else happening? Not really. It's just like cap and gown season.
Yeah, it's a lot of that right now. I had 2 messages literally right when we were switching out, and they wanted me to do it. And I'm just like, because it's already April, the end of April, and it's just like, I want to take on a couple of them, but I don't want to do it all the time, and I just don't want to be like, a lot of these places you got to travel to, unless they're like close to you, like I'm not going to spend like 5 hours.
Yeah, I'm even
stuff.
tired after like an hour trip. Like,
That's funny.
I've been like shooting in Beckley a lot more because my senior Lakin, like, she's just always posting my stuff, so people are like finding me through her. Like, shout out Lakin, so thankful for her. But so I've been in Beckley a lot more, and there, I don't know if you've ever been to Little Beaver State Park.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's like a field like up top?
No, I didn't.
There's a gorgeous. You would love it. You would love that field, and that's just like where if I go there, that's where I shoot.
And that's right outside of Beckley, right? So yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I've always been beside it, but I've always, because you take that. I think you can go that way to like bypass the turnpike or something like that.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and I'm cheap. I don't do. I was like, I'll go an extra 5 minutes out of the way and stuff to do.
No, when I shot this prom, it was in Hinton last Saturday, and the GPS like took us through the toll.
Yeah.
And then we like ended up on the other side, and I was like, we didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I was like, we literally did not have to do that.
So Darin, you are mainly on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, but you also have Twitter.
Yeah.
Like you have pretty much everything. But where do you find like most of your clients at for the most part?
Most of my clients actually do come through Instagram. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but like that's where I know a lot of people get bookings through Facebook. I rarely get a booking through Facebook.
Yeah.
And then a lot come through my email, but like that's LinkedIn everything. So
Yeah. So if you guys, all of his information will be located in the description below. I also want to mention that this podcast is sponsored by Megan Nicole Photography Studio. Her studio is really amazing. There's different scenes that you can always schedule. Her information is going to be in the website below. You can book those. She's an amazing photographer that shoots anything from maternity to mommy and me's to boudoir, just about any type of portrait that you need. You can schedule her. So all of that information is going to be below. Darin, it has been amazing to sit down and chat with you again and just kind of like talk a little bit about. I don't know if I rambled more this time or not, but it's just like one of those things. It's like it's just good. It's good to sit down and just kind of like have a little vent session.
Well, we had a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, it's very true. But all of his information is going to be located in the description below. Please, if you haven't already joined our Discord, that's going to be in the description below as well. That is a Discord filled with photographers and videographers that is all over the state of West Virginia that can help each other grow, whether, it doesn't matter what they are pretty much shooting.
and it's just a good way to connect. So, and anybody can join too. So it's not like just a private thing or whatever. So that's going to be located as well. Remember to never stop creating and stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.